I'm going to show you how to make a candy cane double-ended dread. These can be difficult to make when you use a hanger like I do. I would use a dread loom, but I'm way too lazy to go and spend money on wood and stuff just to make one. And I'd rather buy like more synthetic hair than anything else. To start with a candy cane, I just quickly backcomb this white. And you don't have to use white and blue, you can use any colors you want, doesn't matter. And quickly backcomb this. This is the one side of the double-ended dread, and the rest is tied onto this. It's very difficult to untie this after you seal it and whatnot, but we'll see how it goes. Now what you want to do is take a piece of your blue or whatever color. I always separate mine beforehand when I make double-ended dreads, especially if I'm using a hanger to make them. I just find it a lot easier. And what I'm going to do is take this, make sure that it's the same kind of length as the white one, and then I'm going to wrap it over, under, and then around. That way all this hair gets, you know, out of the way. And you want to take another piece of either an elastic or a hair tie. They always get lost whenever I make these, so you just want to loop that around a couple times so it's secure and doesn't come off, like so, like that. Now you backcomb this just like before. You can do it as much as you want, as little as you want, doesn't matter. And like that. Now you see how these are set up on here, how one is twirled off this way and the other is that way. That makes it a lot easier, so these two are closer together. So you can just, you know, like a single-ended dread, just loop them together like this. And as you go down, turn one clockwise and the other counterclockwise. And just keep on going. That way you get a nice even candy cane-ish thing. Not like when you like just put them together and then you spin them together. That, to me, that doesn't really, it doesn't look nice. This way they actually look like candy canes and are a lot nicer than the other way. This is how I do them anyway. You just, like a single-ended dread, just do it the same. And spin it around at the bottom like that. And push your chair. And then just spray it. Make sure that you get a lot of water on this. I know some people use towels and stuff, but I don't. I find it, they seal a lot better and last a lot longer when you don't use a towel. That and like water, the water vapor creates its own protective shield over the hair when it evaporates. And just make sure that it's nice and sealed at the bottom. The bottom's the most important part of the candy cane dread, because if it's not sealed properly, it'll come undone. But with the way that these are, it makes it so even if they do come undone, you can ravel them back together, or you can unravel them and just have like really curly dreads. So. Shit, that's hot. And there's your first half of the dread. Now, this part's a little tricky because you have to ninja these off without hurting this, and it gets looped in there. Like that. And then unloop it. And just pull that off like that. As you can see, it's like this, which is fine. And then just tie this onto it. Make sure that you turn it so it's nice and tight when you wrap it around. Like that. Now for this, you want to make sure that these two are out of the way of each other. So pull that away, down there, whatever, that one doesn't really matter right now. Then just, like before, back comb. This white hair is very temperamental. Huge pain in the ass to use. Yep. And then do the same to the other half of the dread. Just loop that around. Doesn't need to be tied for the first. You only need to secure it and tie it like that in the first time. When it's all together like this, you can just wrap it around and it doesn't really do anything to the hair. You just want to make sure that it doesn't like make a mess and get all over the place. When you first do the first side is always the hardest for these, especially when they're double-ended, when you use a hanger like I do. And just make sure that they're nice and fluffy. Like so. Sure, run your fingers along there to make sure it's not, bumpy or anything, like that. And then take the other side, pull down, like before, turning one clockwise and the other counterclockwise, in the same direction like the first side. Just pull down as you go. Do that as you go, and then spin the bottoms. Always hard to do the bottoms, but spin them. Makes them nice and tight. And then holding it like before, spray a lot of water. Get it all over your floor and all over the chair. If your floor is not completely wet after you're done making these, you're doing it wrong. And then just seal, running down. Pull this off like that, and there you go. There is your full double-ended candy cane dread.